Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Tune in close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show. Roots dig down where the strong winds blow. We learn to bend and let courage show. Each droplet of hope, each tender hand builds a garden, time perfectly planned. Endowering lives, transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Tune in close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show. Dig down where the strong winds blow. We learn to bend and let courage show. Each droplet of hope, each tender hand builds a garden, time perfectly planned. And every life, transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Stay close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show. From petals of change to sprawling green, the journey's tough, but the view's serene. Together we rise like stems in the rain. Through love and care, we break every chain. Empowering minds, transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Tune close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show. All right, I don't know, can you hear me? Can I see somebody in the comment section? Is there anybody who can hear me? Yes? Anyone? Yes, I can see Tom. Are you fraudsters? No, we are not, Tom. You steal internet? No, we don't steal internet. We use it to the best of our abilities. Okay, yeah, I'm waiting for 1 or 2 people, then we can have our discussion started. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's have our discussion going. Today we are going to discuss about something very interesting. We're going to talk about belief and truth. And before we jump into the discussion, I want to ask the audience, whoever is there listening, I can see, yes, Judith is there, Tom, and who else? Let me see to be sure. Yes. Have you ever asked yourself why you believe in what you believe in? Besides, do you believe in anything? That should be our starting point of our discussion. Do you believe in anything? If yes, have you ever asked yourself why you believe in what you believe in? That should be something now we need to start on and ask ourselves why and what in the first place. So the question is, do you believe one? Then, do you know why you believe in what you believe? And if you can't understand what you believe, then why you believe in what you believe, it takes me to the second question. Do you believe in what you believe because you discovered it for yourself? Or you believe in what you believe because you were told to believe in it? I want you to stay with me. I can't say I have the truth, but I want us to have an understanding. Come to this conversation to question some of the things that are in our life. Do you believe in something? Probably yes. Do you believe in that thing because you experienced it, or you believe in it because you had told to believe in it, or you just found yourself believing in it, or somebody told you to believe in it? It's a question. I am a Christian and I believe in Christianity, right? Now the question I'm trying to ask myself is, do I believe in Christianity because I experienced it and found the fundamental truth? Or somebody led me to believe in it and now I'm living in it? That is something we're trying to understand. My other question is, if you are born in the family that you belong in today, and you are given an opportunity and asked whether you would wish to be born in another family, would your answer be yes? Or if you're in a situation you're in today and you are asked whether you could change your situation, could your answer be yes or no? If yes, what does it say about you? If no, what does it also say about you? And this is the whole gist of our discussion. We are trying to understand what belief is and what truth is. And what I want us to break down into is it possible to believe, or is it possible for me and you to live without believing? I see Susan is saying she cannot trade her family for anything. Yes, we'll get there. And the question is why? But now I'm asking, is it possible to live without belief? Can you live without belief? And what is belief? That's the gist of our whole discussion today. And I want you to think of this. When you go to the zoo, you will see a lion, or you'll see a tiger, or a leopard, depending where you've gone. This leopard is fed. This leopard has time when it's open to move around. This leopard is given almost everything from within. And its mentality, this leopard believes it is free, right? It believes it is free. And that is because it has never known the wilderness. But you and me, can we say that is freedom to that animal that is in the zoo? For it has lived in the zoo for all its life, and it believes it is free. It can sleep, it can eat, it can play, according to the time that is set forth by the zookeepers. But now the question is that lion free, if we may ask? Maybe it is, maybe not. So it is not true. But then, can we say that's freedom? That's the lion's freedom, being in the zoo? Definitely not. The lion in the zoo is just conforming with what it's familiar with. The lion in the zoo is conforming to what it's familiar with. And that is more or less of what we believe in. Many of the things we believe in them not because they are true, because truth is not something you can go and find or something somebody can give you, but it's something you center yourself and find. But because we believe it, we have assumed it to be true. And more or less we conform to that of which we have believed to be true. So what is belief? Let's go backwards. When you look at the word belief, the word belief comes from an old English word which is galief, 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 yes, galief. And the word galief is simply related to leaf, the last four letters of belief, Lief, right? Now the meaning of leaf, the last four letters, simply means dear, which simply means beloved. So to believe simply means you think of something to be true. Listen, you think of something to be true. It is your thought. We have not yet gone to an extra level to ask ourselves whether what you think is absolutely true. It reminds me of Henry Ford's famous statement. He said, if you think you're right, if you think you're wrong, either way, you're correct. If you think you're right, if you think you're wrong, either way, you are correct. Simply meaning your thought is what is correct, based on what you think. So also as we are saying that we believe something to be true. Beloved and dear. So belief simply means you are holding something dearly to you, that you believe it. You are holding something dearly to you, or you are clinging onto something. Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's an emotion, maybe it's information. So because that information or thought, that thinking has become so dear to you that you cling onto it, you think it is true. We started by that lion in the zoo. It has clinged onto the setting of the zoo, and inside it, it believes actually that is freedom. Yet you and me know it's not freedom. It's just conforming to what is. So if we say belief is clinging onto or holding onto something that you think is true, now the question is, that of which you're trying to cling on or to conform to, can you verify it? Have you lived it? Have you seen it? Have you experienced it? The lion in the zoo simply knows the zoo. So everything it believes is in that setting of the zoo. Yet you and me very well know that outside the zoo, we have the wilderness, we have the parks, we have these other places where these animals are free to do what they have to do. But this lion in the zoo does not know of that. So it believes or clings and holds to that information, to that thought, that emotion that it knows. And yet we are saying, actually, it may not absolutely be true. To us, we as human beings, we fail to verify certain things. We take things as absolutely true. Our parents, and even us today, we believe that when you graduate, you'll get a job. It's a belief. But is it true? We have seen the statistics today of unemployed, educated youth. So is it true that when you actually graduate, you're guaranteed of a job? I don't know. You're holding dearly onto it. As we say, belief is when you hold onto something dearly. Have we tested it? Maybe some have been lucky to get a job and they think it's a prototype. Every person will graduate and get a job. And they strongly believe that actually, when you graduate, you're going to get a job. So I want to assure us and myself that actually belief is not a fact. Belief is not a fact. But there are things that give us the comfort too. Why? Because every time You believe in something, you conform to it, and you stop searching for. Every time you say, I believe in this, you've stopped searching. You're no longer curious. You're no longer learning. Why? Because that is already a conformed idea that is so dear to you that you stop thinking and stop searching. So I can say that belief is borrowed truth. Either you learned it, or they told you, or you heard it, but you've never experienced it. That's why it is borrowed truth. Literally meaning you are living on a borrowed mind. All the things you think you believe are the things you have not even experienced. Because we are trying to ascertain, can you actually live without belief? Can you believe without holding on to something? Is the question we're trying to ascertain. So we say every belief is a rented mind. Because you have not tested it, you've not felt it, or you've not even emotionally been through it. So when you believe in something, in an idea, in information, in a thought, you stop seeing what exactly it is. So you see a black thing that is long and shaking within grass. The first thing you believe in, it's a snake. Yet actually it may be just a rope. You see? So your presumption, your belief stops you from seeing what exactly is. So we start searching for what is in our brains, in our minds, rather than going out to see what exactly is outside and what we can do better. Or what are we curious to find out something that we have not seen so that we are able to understand it. And that's the whole idea. So to believe is to live on a borrowed mind. So what is belief? We say it is you behold, you're holding on to something that is so dear to you. So when you say you believe in something, all you're telling us, you believe in a shortcut. And how does this shortcut operate? When you don't understand something, you tend to believe in it. You tend to believe into that something, or you tend to believe something about it. Why? Because you don't understand it. Somebody once said that actually you can't believe in something you know. We believe in things we do not know because we have not experienced them, we have not seen them, maybe even we have not felt them. If you watch, there is a time when there is a a TikTok version of a Jamaican who was asking, I think, a man from the West, a Westerner or a European, let me use the word. And this European was asking this Jamaican, do you believe in God? And the guy told him, what do you understand by God? Or what do you mean by God? And he also asked him, okay, do you believe your blood is red? The guy said, yes. And this Jamaican told him, then you don't believe in it because you know it. I believe in God because I've never seen him. It is a construct. So me, I may believe in God, and another person may believe in Buddha, another person may believe in Katonda, another person may believe, and the names are quite different. Maybe the person is the same. So when I believe somebody who believes, when I meet somebody who believes in Katonda and I believe in God, contradiction, conflict. Because all of us are believing into something we did not know. So he went on and asked, all right, when we get your blood, which you say is red, and we put it in different bottles, maybe bottle one is of a Ugandan, bottle 2 is of a Jamaican, bottle 3 is of a South African, bottle 5 is of an Indian. So he says, are you able to believe? Can you tell me that in those bottles there is blood? He said, yes. But can you tell me to which tribe or affiliation does that blood belong to? Say no. Said that means you believe there is blood, but you cannot know the affiliation. So that is belief. You believe in something, but you cannot tell it. More or less. So when you believe, it's more or less of a shortcut. Because we don't understand a thing, then we go on to believe in it. We settle for conclusions instead of living the uncertainties. You know, our brain loves the commonalities, the known. So whenever everything is uncertain, it tries to find something to support it. For example, we know when somebody dies, first thing you ask, how did he die? Was he sick? Conformity. What are you trying to do? You're settling for a conclusion to know that actually this person was sick, that's why he died. Why? Because we do not want to live in uncertainties. We want certain things. That's why the brain conforms with the things that it knows. Therefore, whenever you believe in something, all that you have done is that you have replaced your curiosity. You have settled. You have arrived. You have gone to a conclusion of the thing. And because you've gone into a conclusion, you stop thinking, you stop feeling, you stop even questioning that thing. So the first thing is belief is a shortcut. The second is that belief is always second-hand. It doesn't come from you. You've not experienced it. You've not thought. You've not. It's like hearsay, as they say. So it is second-hand. It's not original. It's a borrowed mind, as we talked about. So whenever there is belief, there is always second-hand. Because it's not born out of your own experience. It's not born out of your own observation. Neither does it come from your own understanding. But it comes from something that they have programmed. Maybe you've been educated to it. Maybe your culture, maybe your custom, maybe your belief. Sorry, not belief. Yeah, your religion and all these things have made you take it on as second hand, not as something that you have experienced yourself. So most cases, belief is always second hand. Why? Think about this for a moment. If I hand you a pair of glasses, and this pair of glasses is tilted with 5 colors, Richard of York gave birth: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. You put on these glasses. When you look out, everything you will see will have the 5 colors. And if you're not careful, you'll strongly believe that actually that is what the world is out there. But you forget that you are putting on a pair of glasses that has 5 colors. So you are not perceiving the world as it is. You're perceiving it as though through the glasses. So is it real? What happens when you remove the glasses? The world will look different. And that's what happens when you start understanding the things you think you believe. Because we started by questioning, can you live without belief? And this is what I'm trying to deconstruct. We have not yet gotten to the answer. So how can we live without belief? One, you need to learn to catch yourself. In psychology, they call it catch yourself thinking. It's the net. Why do I think this way? You have had people who are Christians and everything they think has to be in accordance with Christianity. Is it true? You have had people who have studied mathematics. Everything they look at are numbers. Is it true? You've seen people who have studied philosophy. Everything they think of, philosophy. Is it true? So you need to catch yourself thinking and understand, why am I thinking the way I'm thinking? And now you come back to when you say you believe something, the thing you're supposed to ask yourself, pause and ask yourself, is this something I know or something that I have just accepted? Catch yourself and ask yourself, you believe in something, is it because you know it? Or it is something you're experiencing? Or it's something you've seen? Or it is just something you've accepted as somebody, brought onto you maybe from education, from your culture, from your religion, from your community, from your family? Catch yourself. When you finish catching yourself, it takes us to the second. You need to learn how to replace. Now that you're conscious, you are aware, you've observed, and you've caught yourself, that of which you've caught, you need to learn how to replace it. And how do you replace belief? You replace it with observation. You become a detective. You become a doctor of your own life. Not everything you see, you start to observe, to understand. Instead of you now picking up the notion of saying, I believe in my blah, 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 or I believe in this, or I believe in love, I believe in, ask yourself, how does that of which you believe in actually show up in your own life? You're testing yourself. If you believe in Christianity, now ask yourself, how does Christianity show up in my own life? Is it something that is abstract, that is living somewhere and we just put it on Sunday or on Christmas or on Easter? But are you living in tandem with it on a daily basis? You're observing, you're trying to replace. Because the more you start asking yourself, the more you start to observe that actually what you think you believe is not something of your own. It is something you've borrowed. It's a borrowed mind. Now you start questioning. And when you start questioning your beliefs, actually what are you doing? You're diffusing them. And the more you diffuse them, the more you understand them, the more they become true. To who? To you who is testing them, not to the other. That's why people tell you that you won't never find the truth. This is the truth. No, you test it, you find it at your own accord. So learn, after you've been conscious, you've observed, now learn how to replace. Replacement through observation. The third is that you need to be curious. Curiosity, they normally tell us, kill the rat. But curiosity is the mother of innovation. But not innovation without, but innovation within. You start to understand who you are. What you believe in, is it true? Have you tested it? So curiosity simply means you live with an open mind. When you see the black long thing in the grass shaking, you don't start thinking that it's a snake. You become curious to see actually, is it a snake? You're testing, and you'll find it's just rubber. And you're like, oh, all right. I think what I thought, what I believed it to be is not what it is. But what happened? You were curious and went ahead to test it. You start to get to know, not to just listen. Many of us listen without a perception of knowing. So for you now, you listen to get to know. You become a curious seeker. They used to tell us that when Christ, now let me bring back the belief, when Christ was on earth, there are two kinds of people that followed him. He had the truth seekers and the curious seekers. And the question is, many that followed him were just curious seekers, not truth seekers. They would go and see, oh, he has performed miracles, and they believe, oh, yeah, yes. But then the truth seekers, the disciples who went back after they had seen, they asked, how? Explain to us more. Why? Those are truth seekers. And in most cases, truth seekers are aligned with curious seekers. You cannot become a truth seeker if you're not curious. But many of us end on our curiosity. We don't take an extra step to find the truth. There is a crowd, yes, you're curious, you want to know what is happening there. But when you get there, you're taken away by the storm based on what is happening there. But you don't go back to ask, why is it happening? Why are they doing what they are doing? Or how did they even start to do what they are doing? So it is better for you to be unsure than searching, because that's how the brain works. It is better being unsure than searching. And that's when we say you are asleep, because you've stopped searching. All you're doing is you are believing. And finally, the fourth, which is maybe the icing on the cake, We need to learn and let life teach us. Don't just believe. Learn. The Japanese have that concept of kaizen, constant learning. And you learn, you unlearn and relearn. Most of the things we believe in are things that we have even never learned. They're things that people have told us. And we have been taken away by the storm. And we have failed to test it with life that is giving us the true message of what we have learned. And that's why you've heard, or that's why we tell people that actually experience should be your best teacher. Have you experienced it? Because a person who has experienced it speaks from truth other than from just logic. They go deep because they can tell. They have been there. They have understood it. So you don't have to start speaking from philosopher, from doctrines, from memory. No, experience it. Give your own experience. Because out of that experience, that is what you believe and that's what you've tested. And when you do that, even when you start to think and feel of the things you think and feel, they are absolutely true to you because you have been through it. Don't believe in compulsion. Don't believe in trying to test yourself with another person. You know, they tell us competition actually kills innovation. You stop competing, but you start looking at. You've had these scenarios where people say, man, I believe that guy is better than me. Maybe he's very good at using, let me say iPhone 17, if it is there, the Pro Max. Now, for you, because you're comparing yourself, all you're doing is that you want to learn how to use the iPhone Pro Max. By the time you learn it, this person who has the iPhone Pro Max has already moved to another software. Now, we live in that loop of trying to test ourselves against the other, and we lose sight of who we actually are. And we never find the truth because we are just trying to test what the other person knows. And we think we can also, but by the time you get to what they know, they have left you. I may ask, many of us believe in success, but we have never engaged in success. Success should be a product of your own conclusion. Because success is relative. What you may think is successful to you may not be success to me. So what is my definition of success? Do I believe in my own definition? Do I believe in my own understanding, upbringing, and experience? Or I'm believing in somebody based on what the other person has tested to call success? Someone may think to be successful is having a billionaire. Sorry, having a billion. Yet when you go to these rural areas, somebody may believe being successful is just harvesting my crops or seeing my children go to school. So what is that you believe in yourself? Have you tested it? Have you let life try to teach you about that of which you're supposed to learn? So whatever you think you should believe should be a product of your own conclusion. A product from what actually you have tested for yourself, seen, approved, and you come to say, oh, yeah. So many of us live in the cage. We're in that cage, like that lion, like that leopard. We believe that freedom is based on what we see enclosed onto us. It's until that lion or that leopard gets out of the cage and moves out in the wilderness, in the unknown, that then it will realize that it doesn't need belief anymore. Because now it has experienced a new paradigm, a new life. It will experience something and actually understand that now it can roar. Because most lions in the zoo never roar, and they tend to keep that way. But when they're set free, the magic happens. And we set free ourselves when we become curious, when we start to observe, when we start to question, when we let life teach us. That's how we start to open up the blockage of what we think we knew that actually we did not know. We start testing what we thought the belief was that is not actually true. So whenever you experience something, whenever you go out to practically do something, that is the beginning of freedom. And whenever you do that, you open up yourself and find yourself. So the question still stands. Can you live without belief? And what is truth to you? I'm sure I've made justice to this. I cannot give you a concrete answer, but out of this discussion, I know you can test yourself and know what truth is and what you believe. So go out and try to analyze and observe and ask yourself about all the things you believe. Are they true to you? That will be the beginning of wisdom or intelligence. Thank you so much. I don't know if we can have questions. I see, okay, Judith says belief is accepting that something is true. No, it is not accepting something is true. On whose accord? When you believe without testing, you're living on a borrowed mind, as I said. So before you ask yourself, I believe in this, test it in accordance to yourself. Is it true? Are you living it? That's how you tend to understand it. Then Noel said, thank you, doctor. Then Noel asked, I called to us to introspect and assess some of our belief systems and understand why we are wired that particular way. Yes, when you start to question some of the things, before you start saying, I believe in this person, what do you believe? What is that foundation that you're trying to say that you believe in? Are you trying to test it? Are you just accepting it? Is it something you have experienced? Is it something that is part of you that you're very sure of? I don't know. But you know better now that you know. Then it's a new perspective to this. Let me see. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. I don't know if there are any questions because we're about to end our discussion. I'll take 2 or 3 questions if they are there. Do beliefs hold value? So now, Susan asks, do beliefs hold value? Now the question is, what is value? Who gives value? And what measure are you using to know that this is valuable or this is not valuable? When you look at the market, many of us believe being valuable is a reflection of monetary terms. You go to these jobs, you find the most valuable person is paid highly. The CEO, the MD, the head something, value. And yet we know actually the person who does the work is maybe the IT guy. Value. So what instrument, what tool are you using to measure value? So what is value to you? Then who says you are valuable? When you understand that, then it comes back to our earlier on discussion of saying that belief is living on a borrowed mind. Maybe what I think is valuable is not according to me. It is according to somebody, more or less of belief. It is something they are holding so dearly to them and they believe that that is what it is. So you're trying to test it. Is it something I have accepted? Do you feel that there is value to yourself? For example, have you ever asked yourself, let's come into economics now, who gives value to money? Why is it the American dollar, the euros, these other currencies are more valuable than the Ugandan shilling? Who gives the value? I do not know. I wasn't good at economics, but it's a question I'm trying to ask. Can a Ugandan shilling be valuable? They normally say that for a currency to be valuable, they check it with the resources, I think gold and blah, blah, blah. Come on, if it was that, the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think they use dollars. They don't have a local currency. You see where it starts from? Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, yes, the land of honest men, has a lot of oil, has a lot of diamond. Which currency do they use? Don't you think their currency is supposed to be stronger than the euro or American dollar? I'm just thinking out. So my question to Susan is, who values, more or less, of whose belief? Now, when we start questioning, when we start becoming curious, we start catching ourselves, we start letting life teach us, then we come to understand that actually most of the things that we believe in may not be true because we have not lived them, we have not tested them. I don't know. Probably. That's what I would think. Yes. Any other? Noel says, in your experience, what is one thing you have had to introspect and unlearn? Myself. Every day I wake up to question what I think I know and what I think I believe in, and even what I think I feel. I've come to realize that most of the things that I tend to think I know, actually, I know the things I've experienced. I tell people that I'm a fast reader when it comes to reading books. I can read, I have very high speed of reading with comprehension. But today, I no longer read to just understand a book. Because most of the things I read were experiences of other people and actually found not to be true in my own accordance. Or in my own terms, sorry. So today, I read books to question. Does this rhyme with what I think? If yes, more or less, let me give you a very good example to that. Have you read a book? Noel, have you ever read a book and you read a certain paragraph or a certain sentence, you smile and say, yes, yes. That is something you have experienced. It's resonating with you. It is coming from the truth point of view, if that English exists. That means the author of that book wrote something that actually you tested or you experienced. And that's why it connected and it gets you to the aha moment. Aha moment in psychology is truth. Right? So for me today, I read to question. There are so many things I've read. For example, they told us when we were growing up that the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. And we have believed that till today. Is it true? Does actually the sun rise? That is your homework. We have heard these African proverbs where they tell us that an old man is the wisest. Is it true? You have seen, today they put up adverts of jobs and they tell you we want 5 years experience. Is it true that it's the experience that is effective or that is efficient? Think about it. I have 5 years, right, in typing. 5 years in typing. and another person comes and tells you, actually, me, I have 1 year. I don't need to type. I'll just use auto as you're speaking and it will type for me, I'll just edit. Who's knowledgeable? Think about it. So there are so many things that are out there that are being overtaken by events due to advancements in technology, due to the evolution of the world. So you need to learn how to question. And for me, that's what I've understood. Every day I wake up to question myself about the things I think I know, the things I feel, and the things that are around me. Is it true? If you attend one of my classes, I normally ask, if somebody tells me, okay, purpose, I'll ask you, what is purpose? What is your understanding of purpose? I more or less move backwards because I want to understand things than moving forward to just conform. I don't know if I've answered your question, but that's what I would say. Yeah, I think that's it, and our time is so far well spent. Unless there is any other burning question. If we don't have any burning question, then I'll beg us to end our discussion. And yeah, remember, these are discussions that happen every Monday at 7 p.m. Join, send us topics, send us ideas that you think you would want us to deconstruct, and we discuss. I don't know if there is somebody who has something to add on. Unfortunately, I tried to get another moderator, but I think there are things I have to fill up, which I didn't do because in the interest of time. But in our next discussion, I think there is a possibility of having people also contribute from the other side. Yep. Without further ado, yeah, let's enjoy the song as we sign out.
Let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show. Roots dig down where the strong winds blow. We learn to bend and let courage show. Each droplet of hope, each tender hand builds a garden, time perfectly planned. And our minds transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Twin flames, let your spirit grow.
All right. Catch you in the next episode. Have yourselves a blessed evening.